Hello, YouTube, and welcome to Jackie Stitches. And I am Jackie. I am a 56, almost 57-year-old mom, wife, and full-time grant administrator. And I work with spreadsheets all the time, which is why I have really been loving doing more stitching this year. Earlier this year, I made a goal for myself to be more creative in my mantra sort of was create every day, and I have done a pretty good job of that. I started doing some YouTube videos earlier in the year, just couldn't quite figure out what I wanted to do, but that really did stretch my creativity. And then I picked up cross stitching and discovered Flosstube, and I have been fully immersed in that for the pretty much this whole year. And I did stitching and crafting in the 90s when I was in my 20s, and I did a lot of that primitive embroidery and that kind of look back then and really enjoyed it and do still have some of that somewhere, I think. And even though that's not exactly my style anymore. And then around 2010, I did a little bit of cross stitching. And I'm going to show you that finish here pretty soon because I did just finish that. Picked it back up this year, finished it last week, and really happy to have that one finished. And I do like other creative activities like drawing and painting, and I would like to learn how to do quilting, but really enjoying stitching right now. So that's what I'm sticking with for a while. And learning new things like how to stitch on linen, which has been a real challenge for me. And so I keep going back to Lugana or Ada for my projects. But that's a goal for 2026 is to try to find a linen that I can actually stitch on. So with that, let's, before we get started with the stitching, a little bit more about me is I do like to read. I like to travel as much as I can on a budget, usually. And I like gardening. So there will be some of that on this channel, but mostly stitching with a little bit of the other stuff thrown in. So let's get started. Okay, so let's take a look at my whips or works in progress as I've learned through watching Flosstube this year. All kinds of acronyms and things that I didn't know about before until I started watching more of you on here. So the first one of the first things I started working on is Berry Basket by Primrose Cottage. And I had just picked up a really inexpensive piece of Ada, I think probably at Walmart, and turns out it's white. So if you look back at this pattern, you'll see that the bowl is white. But since my Ada was white, I had to improvise. So I started that in blue. And it's a cute pattern. I don't know if I'm going to continue with this one because I really am not enjoying working on this fabric. So I might push through and finish it because it's really cute. I don't know if I want to start it over, so we'll see. I got the Sip and Stitch box for the 4th of July or patriotic. Can't remember what they called it from Primrose Cottage. And this is the America, My Home Sweet Home. And so I have started that. I think that's going to be really cute when it's finished. So that's going to be one of my 2026 finishes to celebrate the 250th anniversary this year. I have a couple more that I want to do. So we'll see. This one you can almost or barely even call it a start. I guess it's a start, not necessarily work in progress. And this is Seaside Tiny Town. I really love the beach. Whoops, I'm having trouble getting this in frame. And I just think this one is really cute. And I think this would be really cute on one of those long paddle boards. So that's what I'm going to be looking for, but it's barely started. So, and this one is on 25 count potato Lugana. And so the two that I'm really working on the most right now um, are this one is called Joy by Shakespeare's Peddler. This is one of the Nashville releases this year, and I have a pretty good start on this. And you can see my dog Callie right there watching everything I'm doing. And this one, I'm going to have to open up my PDF patterns real quick. And this one is called Gobbler's Autumn Parade by Needle Treasures Nook. I just thought that was really cute and simple. And this is the one I tried to do on linen, and I had to abandon it because I just couldn't see the holes very well, even with a magnifying glass, and I was having trouble counting 1/2. That is a real skill that I haven't really mastered yet. So I'm going to be working on that. So this is what I have so far. I'm doing this on um, French Latte Country, French Latte Ada by Witchelt, and it's a 14 count. And I love this Witchelt fabric because it is so soft. So I think that's going to be really cute. And that is really all of my whips. So let's take a look at my finishes. Okay, if you're still with me, it's kind of hard to get all this stuff organized for this video. Those of you who do this and you have like 50 whips, I don't know how you keep it organized. I'm gonna have to get better at that. So, what I have for my first finish, I have 2 finishes and 3 fully finished objects, or FFOs. And so my first finish is called uh, Sweetly Saying by Primrose Cottage. And I thought that was really cute. This might have been one of their freebies, and I think it was. I can't remember for sure. I download their freebies from their newsletter that they put out weekly, and they do a freebie pattern on there, I think the first Friday of every month. So you have to sign up for that on their website. They have some really cute freebie patterns. A week before they release the freebie, they will release the kit, which I haven't done yet. I just purchase the materials myself usually. So here's Sweetly Saying. And so I am going to finish this as a pillow, and I'm going to try to do some rickrack around the edge of the pillow like they have there. They have some like dark turquoise rickrack. So I'm gonna try that. I um, haven't done rickrack or any kind of finish or trim on my pillows yet, so that'll be a fun little challenge. So The next finish is the one that I started in 2010 called Pumpkin Hollow Farms by Little House Needleworks. And it feels like I've been working on this forever, even though I started it in 2010. I don't know how long I worked on it. I did get pretty far. I got the top part of it done, but then I picked it back up this year and finished it. And I didn't love working on it. It's not exactly, I don't know. I just didn't love the fabric. I didn't really love the pattern anymore, although it's really cute. Um, so here is Pumpkin Hollow Farm. So it's cute. It's a really cute fall pattern. And then here is my finish. And I posted this on Instagram, and one of the things I really noticed is that my stitching has improved a lot since I started this in 2010. I remember even in 2010 feeling like I couldn't see it very well, and this is Ada. Um, and now I use a light, sometimes a magnifier. I don't usually need a magnifier with Ada, um, but I definitely need a light. So I think I wonder if would have stuck with stitching had I purchased some tools that make it a little bit easier. I don't know. I was also really busy with kids, young kids. So, those are my finished. I'm going to, I think, frame the Pumpkin Hollow Farm project. I saw on Little House Needleworks Instagram, she had a post of someone who had done that in like a blackish brownish frame, and it looked really pretty. So I might try to do that. Okay, so my very first finish when I got back to stitching was this one, and I'm going to pull up this pattern. And if I can find it quickly. And it is called Blossom House by Jordan Nicole Little Stitch Girl. And I just thought that was really cute. Let's see, is it focused? And seemed pretty simple. And it was a nice project to get back into stitching with. So I really enjoyed doing this one. I love the colors. I think it's really cute. And it turned out cute, and I finished it as a pillow. And this is on more of that Witchell Ada that I really like. And I used um, and I did just like a peachy back of the pillow. And I used the poly pellets along with some polyfill. And I really like using the pellets because it gives it some weight and it can stand up on its own. And so I will definitely continue using pellets or some kind of filler like that. The next one I just happened to find, I think this is a freebie on Fat Quarter Shop's website. I'm pretty sure. I'll try to find it and link it in the description. And when I saw this, I knew I had to do it because of my word of the year and my motto or mantra, create every day. So this is by Teresa Kogut, and it's a freebie. Oops, freebie on that quarter shop website, I think. So I will check that and make sure. I just thought this turned out really cute. And then I ended up using that same peachy fabric on the back. Also has poly pellets and polyfill. So the pattern doesn't, I don't think the pattern has any colors. You choose your own colors. So I had seen a couple of these online, and I just tried to find colors. These are using DMC. And so this is a really very inexpensive project since the pattern was free and I used DMC from Hobby Lobby, I think. So, and then my final fully finished object is Strawberry Fair by October House Fiber Arts. See if I can find a better picture of it. And I just loved this. Now, my strawberry has quite a few mistakes, but I decided to leave them because this is really just a learning process for me earlier this year, and it probably will continue to be. So my strawberry doesn't look exactly like the photo, but I'm happy with it. I I think I know how to do um a pattern like that now better than I did when I did this one. And so it turned out really pretty. And I think if you didn't know what the pattern looked like, you wouldn't know about the mistakes on the strawberry, and that is okay. And so I just had some kind of like a almost like a tie-dyed fabric on the back and a kind of a pinkish peachy color. I thought looked good. So I really like this one. Also used poly pellets and polyfill on this one as well. So all three of those are really cute to display, I think, in the spring. Right now they're in my craft room, sewing room, extra spare bedroom, whatever you want to call it. So look forward to moving those back out um, into the main part of the house in the spring. So I thought that's it for my stitching for right now. I don't have as many whips as a lot of people do, and I don't know that I ever will. I have found that I am a seasonal stitcher. I'm almost a monogamous stitcher. I really kind of like to finish something when I start it. So we'll see how that goes. I mean, I have a handful of whips, as you saw. So I wanted to also tell you about what I'm reading right now and what I am watching and what I'm doing. So right now I am listening to an audiobook called How to Read a Book by Monica Wood. And it's about I think she was a retired English teacher and she's going into a prison and having a book club with women who are in prison. And so it's kind of like a story about three or four people um, in the book. And so far, it's really good. So I recommend that one. And I just started reading The Heirloom Gardener by John Forty. I haven't really gotten into that. Like I said earlier, I am a gardener, so I'm enjoy reading different types of gardening books sometimes. And then every day I read a book called The Pivot Year by Brianna Wiest and Everyday Spirit by Mary Smith, I think. I'll post those in the description. They're kind of like just daily readings. So I really enjoy having something like that to read every day. Right now I'm watching Nobody Wants This with Kristen Bell on Netflix and really enjoying season 2 of that. And watching football. Today is Chiefs game day, so I don't know if you can see my shirt. Um, and enjoying embracing this cozier season that we're moving into. The leaves are just starting to turn here in Missouri, and it's getting a little bit chillier. Finally, we've had really hot weather for a long time this year. Um, so just burning candles and preparing foods that are more seasonal. And that's kind of it right now. As far as travel goes, I am traveling with my mom and my sister to Chicago in early December to go to the Christkindl market. So that will be a new experience, and I look forward to sharing that with you too. So thanks for coming by and being here with me as I kind of fumbled through this first floss tube. And I look forward to sharing more stitching and more hauls and travel and reading with you. And I hope you'll join me again. So we'll talk to you soon. Bye.